Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Haar, the Associate Professor of Saxophone and Director of Jazz Studies at the Glencorf School of Music at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. You know, I get a lot of phone calls and emails about ways that players can play faster. Everybody wants to play fast. Well, there are a number of techniques that you can use to improve your finger speed, but probably there's no greater thing that you can do to improve your technique and your speed than getting rid of excess or wasted motion on the saxophone. Now, if you haven't already done so, I would recommend that before you try the techniques in this video, that you look at my video on proper hand placement and proper finger motion on the saxophone. You would be surprised how important those little things can go to making really excellent playing. So, too often I see players who play like this, and their fingers move. Now, you can play pretty fast that way, but if your finger's this high off the key and you need to depress that key, look at all the motion I have to move just to touch the key, let alone depress it. So proper hand placement and getting the fingers closer to the keys is going to help a great deal. Remember, the more we employ on the body to move, the more muscles that are involved, the less efficient we're going to be moving. Okay, the other problem that I commonly see is that saxophone players will move their thumb whenever depressing the octave key. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, from here, it just doesn't seem like that big of a motion, right? But watch. Now, your hand, if I put the saxophone this way, and you can see my D key, my hand is really going a great distance. So how do we deal with this? Well, I've got something that I use. Many of you have probably used this for other things in your house. Remember this stuff? It's called Ticky Tack or Fun Tac or Poster Tack. Back in the 80s, whenever we had, posters of our favorite Lamborghini or whatever, this was the stuff our moms loved. It's basically just a synthetic compound that is moldable, sticky, will adhere to a wall or to a surface without leaving a sticky residue, and you can remove it. It's non-toxic. For those of you who are just dying to eat the stuff, you won't get hurt. But, this is a very serious package. It's called Removable Mounting Putty. It's Poster Tack. So what do we use? Well, we're trying to stop an old habit. Old habits die hard, but they die, and we can change them. So before I get into talking about this is a really important side note. Teachers and students, don't get down on these things. What I'm about to show you may make you feel uncomfortable because it might highlight something that you feel that you should already know how to do or you can't do well. Old habits die hard, but they do die, and great habits grow even quicker. So what we're going to do, let's first address the issues with the fingers. We can take this removable mounting putty and we can create a little ball, maybe about the size of a baby pea. Okay, let's put it on the B key. That was one of those keys that I showed you at the beginning where I really had a bad finger problem. Okay, using the correct hand placement, I can depress my finger into that mounting putty, and it's stuck. You can probably even hear it when I take it off. Okay, so it's sticky. Now the great thing about this mounting putty, look, no residue left on the saxophone. There's no residue left on my hand, and it's reusable to a certain extent. Eventually the oils of the hand or any dirt that you might have on your fingers is going to come off and it will render it useless. But this isn't going to cost you an arm and leg. So by depressing that, all I'd have to do is just simply learn to depress the key. The Poster Tack's going to keep my finger adhered to the key, which is going to remind me, ooh, I move too much. Now, the greater the pull that we feel, the more we're aware of the issue. Now, this is just one note. I can do this all day, okay? But when I take that Poster Tack and I create a couple, here's where it becomes real fun. We become really aware to how much we overuse our muscles. You know, if you want an example of a saxophonist, there's not really a lot of videos out there about him, but if you want to see an example of a saxophonist who really used incredible ergonomics to play, and he was really known for playing fast, go check out YouTube some videos of Charlie Parker. It's really miraculous. You'll hear some of the most brilliant, fast technical passages, and you're not even aware that he's moving his hands. Okay, this is a point where I should make you aware of something. You don't want to probably do this and then go into wind ensemble or into a saxophone lesson or a band competition and try to play. This is a technique that you want to use as kind of a little 5-minute awareness exercise each day. At first, so with 3 fingers stuck to the saxophone, I'm really aware of my hand placement and the inefficiency of movement. So at first, just have the student pop the key just to get used to what they have to do. Again, I'm trying to show good ergonomics. Then move in sequence. Now, at first you're going to find out that even the most advanced player is going to have some issue with this. It's going to make them feel like they never played before. It's just making us aware of the issue. Okay, and just a couple minutes a day or a couple minutes a week can make us more aware. And then you can put down multiple fingers or try intervals like a major third, a minor third, you know, a tritone, things like that. Now, let's address that issue with the octave key. Okay, we can take this poster tack, again, no residue, and we can create a bigger ball. And we can place this on our thumb rest. And what we can do here is by depressing the thumb into the thumb rest, it's stuck, we can learn to rock and therefore play closer to the keys already. And I feel like I play with a pretty efficient technique. Already I can feel the difference in my playing. So it's all about making yourself more one with the instrument, figuring out what you have to do and figuring out what you don't have to do. Again, we're just talking about using your fingers as a lever and depressing the keys. The less you do it, the less taxation on the body, and the greater it is going to be for you to play. So now I can practice not moving that thumb. You can use this for other areas, like let's say you want to make sure that you're using the proper technique, that you're hitting the side E key with the proper hand technique. So you can put this on your E key, and every time that student puts their hand up here the wrong way, it makes them aware of it. Okay? And again, it comes off the surface and it works really well. You would be amazed how a student doing this, let's say they have to go back to their apartment or their dorm, or they're at home and they have a big dog that will always howl when they play, or the parents are in bed or something like that. You can put this on the saxophone and watch television and simply just pop the keys of your instrument. And I've seen improvement in students' technical ability and in their hand efficiency by doing this 5 minutes a day over the course of a week, maybe 2 weeks. And it is a dramatic difference. And it improves their sound because the less energy you're using, the less taxation there is on the mechanism. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you'll check out other videos that I do. And if you have any suggestions for videos that you'd like to see, email me. I'd love to hear from you.